Connie Wallace, and I live on Gilchrist.
Yeah.
And I don't think you've touched this horrendous problem we have Sunday and Saturday of the Methodist Church. Sometimes we have over 100 cars. Last Saturday they had back-to-back weddings, and the middle of Gilchrist was solid from 2nd Street to 4th Street. From Gilchrist up 3rd Street, they're parked on both sides, all the way up and down. I hate to think of some emergency vehicle trying to get through there. And I don't think that this problem has even been faced. It gets more and more as the season rolls on. And those people have to have a place to park. They've joined that church and what have you. Re-landscaping isn't going to help.
The church very specifically, when they got the variance to have a deficiency in parking, went to various organizations around town and said, can we use your parking lots for Sunday parking? So,
But they don't.
I know they
never
don't,
touch it.
and that's something that really needs to be addressed.
Do they provide golf cart shuttle?
No,
Do those
but-
park
but they
on-site
should-
park facilities?
But you know, it's a block walk.
It used to be you did there, cut through there.
Doesn't block too much.
It's a problem.
I share your frustration. It bothers me, and I go to St. Andrews on Sundays, so I see it also. And, you know, I share your frustration because Gilchrist is a boulevard. And boulevard should be beautiful. Yes.
I'm Corinna Hammond, I live on Gilchrist as well. I think guilt could be incorporated. I personally have spoken to Reverend Brightly many times, and he of course has written it off. There is nobody parked on 3rd Street between Gilchrist and the ocean. Nobody, not a single car. Every Sunday I walk out to get the newspaper, nobody in the parking lot of the bank, of the cinema, of Park Street. They're just too lazy to walk. And I've mentioned to him several times, I say, I hope you're better at saving people's souls than you are at converting them to parking 2 steps away, because you're failing miserably. And I think there needs to be some effort, other than just a habit like myself going to this poor man. There needs to be, you know, I'm close to putting flyers, like pizza places in the city, on people's cars to say, please park on 3rd Street, 4th Street, and the parking lots.
The clinic.
The clinic.
Oh, the clinic, they've made agreements with Englewood Bank to use their parking. So, you know, that effort went out when they were getting the variance. Now that they've got the variance.
That's where the guilt is.
Well, that's why, see, I think if Gilchrist, given the plan that Rick Lamb came up with, it would be, you know, you would have to jump a curb in a car, to park on the boulevard, to park in the center of Gilchrist. So that there are you know, pockets of parking, and then people would be forced to go to 3rd. And I know exactly what you mean about 3rd. We have photographs of 3rd on a Sunday, where there are cars all over Gilchrist, and 3rd's completely empty. And it does get down to the lazy factor. People just don't want to walk that extra 200 feet.
If their parking agreements were part of their zoning approvals, then perhaps there's an enforcement problem that ought to be looked at in the meantime. If they said, we're gonna park our people here, here, and here, and they're not doing it, then zoning ought to be on their case.
Unless they're parking illegally, because parking on Gilchrist is not illegal, right?
Well, I don't think it's ever been, it's county property, so I don't think anyone has ever addressed that, but it's something that, given the implementation of Rick Lamb's plan, it then will become illegal, because we'll work with the county on laying that out.
They'll be landscaped out, is the way I understand it.
No one's parking on old mahogany park anymore because of the curbs there.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, to address it in the short term,
Yeah.
County.
And that's a shame.